Hey, let me do my week 3 picks now because I want people to get a chance to see what I'm saying. I capitalized on the Atlanta Falcons beating the Philadelphia Eagles just a few minutes ago. So I decided to go ahead and roll this up now and do my picks for next week for those that do have the bravery or the idea to go ahead and bet some money to see if they can improve their situation a little bit. I'm going to say the home team first and the road team second. First, let me tell you the two rules that I go by. Most of the time, the home team wins. And the second rule is um, that games are decided by 4 points or less. And that goes for those of you that are gambling. So that second rule is for those that's interested in putting down paper to represent in these little betting frenzies that you might be on. But the New York Jets are playing at home against the New England Patriots. Now, the Patriots have been playing well. Gerard Mayo's team is actually very impressive. I know that with William Belichick gone, we might have thought they was going to fall apart, but they've actually played very well. So they need to be considered highly. The Jets, who do have a sharpshooter back at quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, is playing at home. So I'm going to take the New York Jets at home against the New England Patriots. My Cleveland Browns, congratulations. They won against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Um, and we're going to play at home. And so, once again, the home team representing playing against the New York Giants. The New York Giants have not displayed any type of ability to be successful to me so far. So I don't mind if I get beat by the New York Giants, but I wouldn't bet for them. And so I'm going to take my Cleveland Browns for the first time against the New York Giants. The New Orleans Saints against Philadelphia Eagles, who just got beat. The New Orleans Saints have scored points on 15, I believe, straight drives in a row. What Derek Carr, excuse me, what Carr is doing, um, Alvin Kamara, the receiving core, um, is really impressive. I'm trying to think of my guy named number 12 from Ohio State. But anyway, even though the Eagles just lost and they're supposed to be an elite team, I think the coach now is going to be on the hot seat if they lose again. But they're facing a real buzzsaw, and the buzzsaw is at home, and that's going to be the New Orleans Saints. So I'm going to take the Saints at home for the win. The next game, the Minnesota Vikings playing against the Houston Texans. Now, normally I take the home team, which is the Minnesota Vikings, who won last week. But a third rule, if you allow me to have one, the third rule a lot of times is teams win one game, lose one game. Win one game, you get it. So the Minnesota Vikings won last week. They are playing at home, but it's hard for me to go against a hot shot CJ Stroud in that Houston Texans team. So I'm going to take the Houston Texans on the road. Um, Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Denver Broncos. The Buccaneers are at home. Baker Mayfield is the truth. I just got to say that for those that may or may not believe, but Baker Mayfield is the truth. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers at home against the Broncos. The next game, the Tennessee Titans are at home against the Green Bay Packers. I'm not going to even waste y'all time. I'm going with the road team, the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love may not be back but they won without him. And I think the Tennessee Titans have some problems going on big time. So I'll go with the Green Bay Packers on the road. The Indianapolis Colts are at home against the Chicago Bears. The Bears got the young quarterback who's a rookie, and he's now running into a wall. And him being at the helm, he's a little shook now after not experiencing any preseason for the most part, really, or the little bit of preseason that he did get. They put him on the shelf. That preseason strategy right now is really rearing his ugly head for a lot of programs in the NFL to me as well. And I think it's not doing the Chicago Bears any justice. But it's over now. It's too late. So I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts at home. Pittsburgh Steelers at home against the Chargers, taking the Steelers. The Seattle Seahawks are at home against the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks. The Las Vegas Raiders are playing at home against Carolina Panthers, who easily could be the worst team right now in the National Football League. I heard they're going to bench the Alabama quarterback, the hotshot young guy. They're going to put him on the bench. That could be a super lift for them, but not right now against the Raiders, I don't believe. So I'm taking the Raiders at home. The Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, are playing against the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers may have one of the greatest run game setups that in football with Kyle Shanahan. And I think because they lost last week as well, even though the Rams got embarrassed by Arizona, I think the 49ers win on the road. So that's 2 losses in a row for the Rams. Give me San Francisco 49ers. Arizona Cardinals, who I just spoke of, playing against the Detroit Lions. They came off of a great win. I think that'll have them really high. It may not be enough for them to beat Detroit. Taking the Detroit Lions. Dallas Cowboys got destroyed by the New Orleans Saints. They're playing against the Baltimore Ravens, who are struggling on a very high level. I think that continues as the Cowboys come out. Give me the Cowboys for the win. The Atlanta Falcons, who just won against the Eagles, are on a supernatural high, but they're running into the buzzsaw Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though I found out the running back is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks with a injury. So Isaiah Pacheco is going to be out. You need to know that in case you're doing fantasy as well. Isaiah Pacheco is going to be out for Kansas City, but they still will get away with winning against the Falcons, who are high right now. The Buffalo Bills playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even though the Jaguars just lost to my Cleveland Browns, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. And the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going to take them at home against the Washington Commanders. That's the end of my picks for week 3. Love y'all.